What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another Nintendo Switch RPG news video. Today we've got some big information to go over, but before we get into that, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, and click that notification bell to get my videos first. Now let's go ahead and first start off with a brand new Nintendo Switch presentation from Nintendo. We've got the Treehouse Live. It's back, and maybe even better than ever, with some big games coming up soon for the Nintendo Switch. So Nintendo will host a Nintendo Treehouse Live presentation on August 25th at 9:30 a.m. PT / 12:30 p.m. ET, featuring 2 Splatoon 3 segments and the world premiere of live gameplay for Square Enix's new Harvest/combat sim RPG Harvestella, the company has announced. Now, the 2 Splatoon 3 segments will consist of a deep dive into the game's single player campaign, plus an overview of the stages and strategies for the upcoming Splatfest world premiere demo. Now, Splatoon 3 is due out for the Nintendo Switch on September 9th, and Harvestella is due out for the Nintendo Switch and PC via Steam on November 4th worldwide. So pretty stacked presentation here with these 2 games. Seems like there's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming up. I do want to announce that I will be playing the Splatfest world premiere. I've got some stuff set up for that, some cool events that I'll be playing with some other content creators, in addition to playing with members on the channel as well. So look out for that this Saturday, guys. But let's go ahead and get into some of this other stuff, because I am excited to see what Nintendo's going to show off for the Splatoon 3 campaign. I think that Splatoon 3 has one of the most underrated campaigns for a shooter out there, because there's so much focus on the Splatfest and the content and the style and like the multiplayer for Splatoon games. Just in the history, we've always talked about multiplayer, but single player isn't talked about as much. But between Splatoon 1, 2, and the Octo expansion, they've put together some pretty solid campaigns. So I think that Splatoon 3 is going to have a great single player campaign consisting of everything that they've learned from all the games, and more importantly, the Octo expansion, because I think that's the best one out of all of them so far. So that should be pretty good. Now, next up is Harvestella. I think that the Rune Factory games and the Harvest Moon games and stuff like that, I've never really been into those too much, just because the art style and some of the combat and how they did things wasn't for me. But I think that I've always been interested in the concept of them. That's why I will still play Animal Crossing in those games, but I never really went full bore into it. But I think that Harvestella from Square Enix is finally going to be the game to get me to be invested in one of these like farm/combat sims, because it has the aesthetics that I'm looking for. Seems like it has the combat style that I'm looking for as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how this game's combat works, what you do, what the balance is between the farming and sim stuff, and also combat, how the leveling works. This could be the next best or next great sim/combat game. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they have to show here with Harvestella and also Splatoon 3. So what are your thoughts on this new Nintendo Treehouse Live presentation featuring Splatoon 3 and the RPG Harvestella? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, guys, we've got a big strategy RPG announcement for the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation systems. So Nippon Ichi Software has announced Disgaea 7, the latest numbered entry in its mainstay strategy RPG series for the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and also the Nintendo Switch. Now, it will launch officially in Japan on January 26, 2023. Now, you guys are checking out the trailer here. Strategy RPG, PS4, PS5, Switch. Now, I do want to go over a little bit of an overview of this game, because I think like the whole feudal Japan or the style with samurais and stuff like that is pretty cool for this game. And then we'll talk about something that's even a little bit more important, and when is there going to be a localization. So Disgaea is a simulation RPG series set in an over-the-top netherworld where demons, angels, heroes, and evil lords run amok. Since the release of the first entry in 2003, it has been favored by fans for its, quote, game system that allows you to do anything and everything, end quote, and infinite replayability, and has stayed Nippon Ichi Software's core franchise. In Disgaea 7, the story is set in a world called the Hinamoto Netherworld Cluster, which is inspired by Japanese culture. Our heroes will fight through the world in order to regain their lost Bushido. Many characters designed by Mr. Hadara will appear, and the Disgaea series signature replayability features and over-the-top battle systems have been further enhanced. Now, there's more information on the setting and what you can expect, but I'll show you guys this. Here is one of the screenshots with this huge printy, the dude guy, and it says characters can turn into giants in Disgaea 7, exclamation mark, question mark. Goodness gracious, this game is going to be absolutely crazy. You're going to have parts where you're doing crazy amounts of damage with all sorts of different looking cool swords and stuff. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty cool game. But the more interesting thing here, guys, is if there's going to be a localization. Now, Gematsu did reach out to Nippon Ichi Software to ask about that, and they stated that they have nothing to announce at this point. Now, most of the Disgaea games do get localized, so I wouldn't be surprised if this game did get an official announcement, maybe at a Nintendo Direct or some type of presentation later down the line. Now, we'll see exactly how it's going to work when it comes to when and where it's localized and everything, but I'm guessing that it will, at the bare minimum, see a release on the Nintendo Switch here in the US and also in Europe. Now, we're gonna have to wait and see exactly how things work out with PlayStation and how they actually do it. It's just sometimes they've localized and brought it over here in English, but in Japan it's still Japanese, like with the last release. But I just don't know. But I'm pretty sure that this game will get localized and we'll be playing it sometime in 2023 after the Japanese release. And there is a ton more information, screenshots, and everything if you want to check that out. I'll have a link for you guys, Gematsu. There's also some special editions and stuff if you want to import from Japan. But what do you guys think about Disgaea 7, the next main entry in the long-running Disgaea strategy RPG franchise? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, guys, we've got a brand new Metroidvania announcement coming to all platforms here, and it's looking like it could be pretty cool. It's very fast-paced according to the developers. So publisher Pity Games and developer Hello Penguin Team, awesome names by the way, have announced Vernal Edge for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC via Steam and also Epic Games Store. A release date was not announced, but we do have some information on the game. So it says, welcome to the kingdom of Haricot, and I might have said that wrong. Years ago, the land took to the sky, becoming a mysterious series of floating islands, where the power-hungry Church of Aloe now rules with an iron fist. Enter Vernal, a young woman bent on finding her estranged father. With the help of some abnormal martial prowess, amnesiac automation named Sherville, she'll need to make her way across this mysterious land if she wants to satisfy her need for revenge and the truth. Take control of Vernal in this beautiful pixel art Metroidvania. Unravel the secrets of her past and the mysteries of Haricot as you battle your way through this broken kingdom. Here are the key features of the game: a fast-paced Metroidvania. Explore floating islands of the areas, town or dungeon, leave no stones unturned in order to gain more powers. Jump, dash, slide your way into a beautiful pixel art environment, and don't forget, secrets could be anywhere. Dynamic and rewarding combat system. Now this is the most exciting for me. Strive for excellence as you master Vernal's many combos and spells to create the deadliest suite of attacks to destroy your enemies. The large number of options at your disposal every time you strike your foes makes Vernal's Edge battles a consistently renewed source of excitement. Make your own way. As long as there's wind in your sail and fire in your heart, you are free. In Vernal Edge, you can take your aircraft to any island you want and explore them in the order you choose. So a lot of freedom here. Seems like the combat is going to be super fast-paced and fun, and based off of this gameplay and trailer that you guys have been watching, this game actually looks super smooth and good and is up on my radar at this point. I like the art style, I like the speed of the combat, I like what they're doing with the character design and also the animations and expressions. It looks like it's going to be solid, and it does say coming soon. Despite there not being a release date on the trailer, it does say coming soon, but this is definitely a different style of Metroidvania. Heck, even one with airships and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to what this game has to offer, and this is pretty much the perfect style of game for me, at least, to play on my Nintendo Switch. So I'll definitely be checking this one out with all the different options and customization and what they're showing off here. So what are your thoughts on Vernal Edge, a brand new fast-paced Metroidvania game coming to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC? And remember, guys, there will be backwards compatibility with the PS5 and Xbox Series, so it's coming to pretty much everything. So what do you guys think about this game? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the final topic here, guys. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak expansion has passed a major new milestone when it comes to sales and lets you think, I wonder if other developers followed in what Monster Hunter Capcom did on the Nintendo Switch. So total worldwide shipments and digital sales for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak expansion have surpassed a staggering 4 million units according to Capcom. Now, the new sales milestone comes just over 1 month after Capcom announced that total shipments and digital sales for the expansion surpassed 3 million. Now, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak expansion launched for the Nintendo Switch and PC via Steam on June 30th worldwide, and Capcom doesn't give a breakdown on what sold more over what, so we don't know the split between PC and Switch. But based off of what I've been seeing with the sales charts, with the eShop, and kind of what's been going on, definitely seems like the Switch is pulling most of the weight there, as the base game came out on Switch first and was on sale for a lot longer before it came later to the PC. So Monster Hunter Rise has been a worldwide hit and is basically reassured that Capcom is going to be making Monster Hunter for a very long time for all of the buckets of cash that have been floating in through Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. But kind of what I alluded to before, that if more companies took their main franchises and actually developed a Switch-specific version for it, I wonder where the landscape would be with those companies and how they treat the Switch and what games we would be getting or what games would be out on the system. Imagine if, let's say, for example, Final Fantasy got the same treatment on the Nintendo Switch, or if there was other games, Resident Evil, we haven't seen that from Capcom, even though there was rumors about that before. Imagine if a lot of developers also did that with their top tier franchises. I think that that could have been pretty cool, in addition to supplying whatever they do usually on Xbox and PlayStation. So very interesting to see these sales here. Obviously, Capcom made the right call with this type of support with Monster Hunter Rise, then also the Sunbreak expansion. I still need to get around to playing Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. I thoroughly enjoyed Monster Hunter Rise, and Sunbreak looks like it takes everything when it comes to the core mechanics that we got on Rise and makes it even better, to the point where you can even play with CPUs on your team like you have a full hunt out there with your friends or something, which to me, that's huge. So I love the fact that they've just made the game better and better, and they also talked about doing more free updates for their game. So I think that Capcom has nailed the formula here, and as long as they bring out great Monster Hunter games, I don't see this franchise slowing down anytime soon. But what are your thoughts on all the different topics that we discussed here with the RPG news? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and we will see you for the next video. Peace.